Hi, I'm Brandy. This is Hound of Hollow, and today I unboxed all of my April boxes and the stack of Kickstarters that I had. So I got a lot done, and they're all uploaded. I just need to do descriptions and stuff like that. So very exciting. And it's a full moon, so I thought we'd do a get ready with me. So, well, technically the full moon was at 1100 Pacific Standard Time. So, this is not getting ready in advance, but the energy's still around, for a few days. And so we can still harness that energy. Plus, I thought it'd be really nice if we talked about what are my current resources that I'm using when I plan, what I'm doing for a new or a full moon, because a lot has changed. So, the good news is I have a little system because I was so busy. I was trying to think of ways that I could always have my information that I use for the moons, for the SPEDs, the new moons and the full moons with me. And so I got good notes on my iPad, and I have half of my content here, and the content that I only have in paper, at the beginning of every month, I take pictures of those pages that I need. So if I'm on the fly, I can still work up my full moon in my journal without having to have my little stack of books and everything. So we're going to talk about resources. I'm starting from scratch here. I just have this is my book of shadows, very personal, but frankly, the only people who are watching this are people who have been following me for a while. So I always put astrologically where everything is. I put the date. I have a checklist of things that I like to do every day for my spiritual daily practice. Write down my dreams. Check out what the quote of the day is from Ancestor Said by Ahimi Aura, which is an excellent book. I'll write that down. So Ahimi Aura, she has a book called Ancestor Said. And even if you can't afford the book, if you just follow her on Instagram, the quotes are there and they're beautiful and they're wonderful. I also check my astrology and I write an affirmation. That's kind of like the bare bones of my spiritual practice every day, but it is really nice way to wake up. Then I have all my notes because I'm reading Buckland's, and I plan on having that up for review next Wednesday. The good news is, as I expected, once I slogged through that horrific historical chapter, it got really better and a lot more good information or usable information. Some of it's still a little dated and very, very Eurocentric and Wicca centered. So just, take it with a grain of salt, but helpful, good information. I've taken plenty of notes for you guys so I could share that. And then I have just the title, Full Moon in Capricorn. So the first thing, not the first thing I do, because the first thing I do is, I write down when I'm expecting lunar and planetary events every month at the beginning of the month in my bullet journal. So I kind of already know. And so one of the websites that I like is Moon Astro Seek. And I'm going to, so that's where I get my information. And what I like about it is you could put in your town and it'll pull up exactly for you when the moon cycles are changing exactly in your time zone, which is really nice. The next thing I do is I check my emails because for the things that I really enjoy, the content that I really like, I'm on their mailing list. And so I will get a ton of full moon or new moon information. And so just really quick, I'm just pulling up the tabs really quick so that I can make sure that I have them all collected in my phone, so that I can really, so that I can really make sure I have everything to talk to you guys about. And I do. Perfect. Okay. So I'll go back a little bit and just tell you who it is that I like to get information from. So one of my favorites is the Celestial Bruja, and she's obviously, just like her name sounds, an astrology witch, and she's on Instagram. She's good content on Instagram. She has a website which has good content, and when you do her mailer, you get the emails with information about the moon. She did a special over New Year's, where it was like $33 for a brief reading, a 15-minute reading of your astrology for the year. It was excellent. So I have kind of followed that since. So, but I don't have it on me right now. Hold on. She has it in her website. Hold on, let me look. And I don't see it as of now, but that's fine. It might be on Instagram. The other one that I absolutely highly, like super highly recommend to you guys is Chani. So she has content on Instagram. She has a website and a mailing list, and she also has an app. And the app, even the free portion of the app, is excellent. But I pay for the premium membership. Chani app, Instagram, great content. I really love Chani Nicholas. She's excellent. And I can't remember what parts are free because it's been a long time since I was not a premium member, but there's tons of content both on her Instagram and on the app. And the app, I absolutely for free, gives you a birth chart with all of your aspects and your angles and readings for yourself. So that's really nice. So what she sends is an email that reminds you to go to the app, basically. And we'll go to the app at a kind of last. So those are two resources. I'm also on the mailing list of Lady Althea. Hers is not so much. Hers is not so much of like getting ready for the lunar placements or what you can do. She just writes several pen pal type letters every very cycles, usually like dark and full moon, just like really poetic. She has really good content though, especially as it pertains to animism, community building, spirit work. Excellent. And every once in a while she'll open her readings up to new clients for bone readings, and she is excellent, really good. I was lucky enough to get one for the year, and I really liked it. So she also writes really good books. So definitely check her out. Instagram, she has a website, and I have several of her books. By Prick of Thorn and Rust of Nails, really good about protection magic. So excellent resources there. What else do we got? Tamed Wild, I'm on their mailing list, and they typically send one. Full moon in Capricorn brings radical liberation in alignment with the life of deeper meaning, changes in the air. It'll present us with invitations to break free from the prison cells of our own making that restrict and limit us from reaching our highest potential. A full moon in Capricorn is a call to evaluate the building blocks we have in place to reach our goals and get honest about which ones are shaky. Pluto reminds us that if we continue to build upon foundations of fear, shadow, and outdated patterning, whatever we create will come crashing down. Which is funny because my mom and I were just having a conversation about how poverty mindset really messes up any efforts that you have towards creating abundance. You have to have an abundance mindset to create abundance, not a poverty mindset. And because money and abundance and prosperity flow, right? You have to create a flow. Whereas I think really poverty mindset is always coming from a place of lack. And when we make intentions and when we manifest, we have to imagine ourselves not in that place anymore. We have to imagine ourselves as if the thing has happened, which means that you can't think in those terms anymore. You can't. I'm not saying it's impossible. It is challenging to manifest abundance and prosperity when you're living or existing in a poverty mindset, which is not to say that being in poverty is a poverty mindset. That is not, those are not the same thing. That is not what we're talking about there. And there's a lot of nuance and a lot of very careful. We have to be very careful, right? We're not blaming people for not thriving in capitalism, but there are certain things that we do that set us up for failure on a metaphysical level, on a spiritual level, on a cosmic level, however you want to look at it. For example, like stinginess is lack mindset, which is not to say it's being careful, meticulous, or frugal. Those are different characteristics. Stinginess is I have more than enough food and you're hungry and I'm like, I need all this food. Like creating an abundance mindset is like, I have food and you're hungry and we are in some, like, not just, you don't have to give it to some stranger, but like, obviously I can give you some food. You're creating a flow. You're letting go of something that you have with the idea that you know that you'll have enough. You know that you'll have enough. It'll come back to you. That's abundance mindset. You're creating a flow. You're trusting that you can give this because it will come back to you, right? So we don't want to blame, but also we got to be accountable, because at the end of the day, if your life sucks, you suck. And that's a hard pill, terrible pill. It's the truth. There's nothing in the world about long-term problems in our lives that we don't at least play a role into. It's just, it's hard pill for me to swallow. So Capricorn, I'm going to write that down though really quick. What foundations do we have are shaky? That's what I'm going to write down. Because houses don't fall when the bones are good. The full moon is about shedding old skin and stepping into new versions of ourselves that enable us to achieve our goals. So, there's a lot of talk in the community, and take that shit with a grain of salt, let's just be honest, about how, so a lot of people use full moons to release. I myself use full moons to release. And you got to be really careful, because the full moon in and of itself, that moment of fullness is a moment of culmination, of celebration, of accomplishment, of whatever it was that you started in the new moon of Capricorn. It's coming to its culmination. It's coming to its peak. It's coming to its crescendo in the full moon of Capricorn, right? Which is not to be confused with the other aspect, and that one is the moon is full. Now it comes down. Now it wanes. Now it releases. Now we're on the other end. Things are not building up. Things are going away. So if you're using the energy for release, you want to make sure you're on the waning side of the moon. Do you know what I'm saying? And we are on the waning side of the moon, because the full moon was at 11:37 Pacific Standard Time, somewhere in there. So that's where those ideas. So when they're saying A full moon is about shedding old skin and stepping into new versions of ourselves to enable us to achieve our goals. I really correlate that with a waning moon. The moon is now waning. It has reached its crescendo. Now it's going to come down until it's nothing. And we start again. So that's where, in my mind, I think the confusion becomes. There's nuance, always nuance, never black and white. And there's just not a whole lot of that. Forms a conjunction to Pluto, Lord of Death and Rebirth. So it's retrograde, though. So we're introspection and contemplation. I will say that. And that's easy right now because my back hurts and I just want to lay around. Within the sign of Capricorn, this can pertain to areas such as our goals, government's achievements, careers, structures, foundation, tradition, businesses, fathers, and patriarchal systems. And the reason that they say that is because the house that Saturn rules, the 10th, or the house that Capricorn rules, which is the 10th house, is the house of the zodiac that corresponds to all those things that they just listed. That's what Capricorn rules. That's the house that they pertain over. It asks us to reckon with unhealthy emotional cycles born and perpetuated by fear. This can come in the form of power struggles. Hold on. Power struggles, habits of control, unhealthy obsession, lustful temptations, and more. In tarot, Capricorn is ruled by the devil card, or Capricorn rules the devil card, often figuring a horned goat standing between a man and a woman. They wear shackles around their necks, symbolizing imprisonment by our own temptations, patterns, and darkness. This is especially relevant to the chart of this full moon, as it highlights areas of self-sabotage and self-destruction, limiting our ability to reach our highest potential. And we kind of talked about that in one of the lives this week about that we do to put ourselves down, to hold ourselves back, the toxic bull crap, the stories that we tell, right? The North Node's involvement reminds us that achievement doesn't necessarily equate to deeper purpose, fulfillment, or meaning. For example, an underlying belief that worth is tied to performance can lead to a pattern of overachieving, but one will never truly feel satisfied when operating from this shadowy place. They fall subject to their own patterning, sacrificing true freedom and fulfillment. Fortunately, Uranus forms a conjunction to the North Node, a trine to Pluto retrograde, and another trine to the full moon. This symbolizes radical liberation, fated change, and doing things differently. The evolution that comes from the Devil card is awakening to higher truth, another attribute of Uranus. It's the realization that we've been holding the keys to our own prison cell all along. In order to be reborn onto a path of deeper alignment, we have to be willing to meet our darkness face to face and release it. Within the sign of Capricorn, this could be an invitation to manage emotions differently and create systems, structures, or plans to support change in your life. We literally just had this conversation this week. Neptune in Pisces forms a sextile to the full moon and Pluto retrograde. This placement encourages deep healing, empathy, and transcendence. It requires surrender to that which you cannot control and reverence for the larger forces at play. This is an opportunity to call upon Spirit for guidance and trust that whatever is unfolding is for your highest good, even if you don't understand it right now. Lastly, the ruler of Capricorn, which is Saturn, sits within the sign of Aquarius. This indicates that the themes at play will be experienced on a collective level. Aquarius is a sign of revolution, societal change, and futuristic thought. It challenges traditional ways of doing things to make way for new paradigms. The Aquarian archetype rebels against old systems, structures, and authorities that no longer serve the highest good of the collective. Sun conjunct Mercury in Cancer reminds us that no matter how things unfold, it is important to bring compassion to our inner and outer conversations, as well as care and emotional availability. And this is what I really like about these. How they give you examples. Honoring this full moon may look like doing shadow work, which I'm not in the mood for right now, but it's an excellent thing. With Pluto at play, this is a great time to meet your shadows, engage in a conversation with your dark side. This could look like journaling, visualizing the dark side of you, and having a conversation to gain answers and healing. Good time to reevaluate your goals. Capricorn's always a good time for goals. This is a great time to check in, with yourself around your goals and if you're feeling the desired level of fulfillment. Check in on goals. It's a good time too because it's July. We set our goals in Capricorn, December, January, and this is the halfway point. How's it going? So that's one of the things I'm writing down. Building awareness around emotional patterns, which we talked about the other time. I'm feeling good about that. I've done a lot of work there, so I'm not going to beat that horse this time. So one more that I get, but I don't really use it, is Rachel Amber from the Cycles Journal. And that's another email that I signed up for, saying that it's a super moon because the moon is closest point along its orbital path to Earth. You may feel heightened awareness around work and structures. You might feel called to assess what it is that creates a sense of stability in your life. Your logical brain may be super active during this time, making it harder to listen to intuition and feeling. There may be an emphasis on financial stability and well-being. And then they give you a few journal prompts. What goals am I climbing towards, and what logical steps can I take to get there? What areas in my life are calling for more attention, and what areas are asking for rest and recuperation? What do I want to grow and focus on during the next lunar cycle? And they give you an example of a ritual. Hold on, let me see. Capricorn is hardworking energy that feels best when it has a mountain to climb. While this is powerful and can bring a lot of progress, it can also lead to burnout and lack of connection to one's emotional and intuitive body. So it's basically a tarot spread, which I don't want to. You'd have to get on the mailing list to have it. Okay, so I check all my emails. Those are the ones that I'm expecting. And then the next thing is, like I said, I took pictures of the pertinent parts of my physical copies of my books at the beginning of the month so that I have them with me and I can always do the work. So the first one is Just a Phase Planner by my star twin, Alice in Wonderland. So, were you born with the sun was so far away and the days were short and the nights were long? Was there snow on the ground and our bones ached from the cold? Were you bundled up in a warm clothes and a cozy blanket? Then congratulations, you made it all the way to the other side of the wheel and there isn't any frigid air here. But seriously, Capricorn, I know you have something to celebrate. What have you accomplished? I know you were climbing the mountain of life for a reason. Did you do it? Did you achieve your goals? If not, I bet you are close. I know this because that is what Capricorn does. Achieve, accomplish, thrive no matter what the conditions are thrown at you. We can all take a lesson from Capricorn and illuminate what you have built under this full moon. Give yourself a gold star for everything you have accomplished this year. Make a list of what you have achieved as well as anything that is not yet accomplished so that you can add a gold star to it when you do. Before we set off into Leo season on July 22nd, this Capricorn full moon calls us back down to the ground and lets us tether this energy so we can continue to work towards our goals. Oops. Dang it. Hold on. So, kind of the same thing. So, illuminate accomplishment. Kind of review what it is that you have accomplished. This is celebration. And this is another way that we use the energy of the full moon. Culmination, celebration, the pinnacle of something. And it's a good time to celebrate yourself. Okay, so the next one is the Moon Sign book by Llewellyn. They release a moon sign book for each year. And one of the things is they give a little forecast for each aspect. The buck moon in finance-minded Capricorn suggests your philosophy should be the buck stops here. Frugality will serve you well, so bringing to a climax any project that was begun in the last month or that has numerous steps and step backs. Yes, okay. Mars and Taurus and the moon harmonize, which encourages practical thinking. So for Capricorns, your desire to climb that mountain on your own could backfire. There's a flood of folks wanting to help, which could prompt a giggle. For Aries, Cancer, Libra, Leo, and Gemini, mind your P's and Q's. Other may think you're speaking roughly when you're being frank. Taurus, Virgo, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Aquarius, and Pisces, invest in yourself. This is going to include making time to get guidance or encouragement on a business endeavor. So these ones used to be a little better. Now they're a bit vague. So just take that with a grain of salt. The next one is, of course, the Moonology book. The Moonology 2022 planner, which I reviewed and I sold, and I still have a few copies, but that's neither here nor there. So, super full moon in Capricorn. This is such a powerful full moon. There's no real way of knowing exactly what will be going on in your life or the world when you read this, but one thing's for sure, if the situation is already tense, this is a week for us to tread very carefully, no matter what our star sign or rising sign, race, color, or creed. This full moon isn't an eclipse, but is placed so close to the eruptive planet Pluto that it might as well be. The issues you've been ignoring in the hope they'll go away are the very issues most likely to be stirred up by this full moon. So whatever you're angry about and have been trying to spiritually bypass, well, good luck with that. This full moon is a pot stirred and evidently what we all need now, or it wouldn't be happening. If you know that someone or something in your life has become toxic, you need to clear the air, detox, and clean. This includes relationships, situations at work, and even just your home if it's become really messy. If pride has been holding you back or you really from your ego, then again, watch out. Oh, I'm going to write that down. Clean home. I've been wanting to clean and cleanse and bless and protect, and I never have time. So, if pride has been holding you back or you've been acting purely from your ego, then again, watch out. This full moon could blow things up so that you have to come from the heart and leave your ego out of it. There's good news though. Any crisis that this full moon seemingly brings about, in truth, it's just a time for them to erupt, can bring healing too. And then it goes to say, depending on your rising sign, that's where the full moon is affecting you. So, Aries, 10th house. Taurus, 9th house. Gemini, 8th house. Cancer, 7th house. Leo, 6th house. Virgo, 5th house. Libra, 4th house. Scorpio, 3rd house. Sagittarius, 2nd house. Capricorn, 1st house. Aquarius, 12th house. And Pisces, which is me, 11th house. So this is kind of like an advanced concept. So what does that mean? So your rising sign, or basically the sign that was coming up on the horizon when you took your first breath, is really important because it determines what the first house of your zodiac is, which is not the same for everybody. My first house is Pisces, my second house is Aries, my third is, and so on and so forth, right? That's one of the nice things about the Chani app is that you put in your date and your time of birth and location, and they will calculate all of that for you and tell you what that means. But you can also find that on different places like Cafe Astrology or Astro.com. There's lots of places that will do that for free for you as well. But what it means is if your natal chart looks a specific way, meaning that instead of Aries ruling the first house for me, Pisces rules the first house and so on, then it means that this full moon, which is in Capricorn, is affecting me in a different house than if like my rising sign was Aries, right? So it's affecting me in my 11th house, which is like a house of friendships, of networking, of stuff like that. So the themes that we're talking about here, foundation, stability, financial, career, goal setting, they're going to be particularly potent in that specific area of my life, right? That's what it means when we say, where is this moon affecting you specifically? And Chani's really good about talking about that too. So lots of good content out there that's going to give you that extra personal touch. For you specifically, where are you going to see these things most potently? One of the best ways to work with the full moon energy this month is to detox your life. Consider cutting out any unhealthy foods or drinks, at the very least for the day of the full moon. Better yet, for the full moon phase, which lasts about 3 days after the full moon first appears. Also, detox your house. Truly, the less clutter you have, the better your life will flow. Another thing that I really love to do on full moons is to take baths. Always a good time. The moon is full. It's an excellent time for a bath. Yeah, good time for a bath. Good time for a bath ritual. Good time to spoil yourself. Good time to detox yourself. Lots and lots of ways that you can doll that bath up so that it has a lot of potency for you. Also, not so glamorous, but super magical. You can clean your house. Okay. The next thing I do, sorry, I'm walking you guys through literally, like I'm preparing. That's what this get ready with me always means. I'm preparing and I'm just showing you what I do. It's been a long day. Okay. So the next thing I do is I go to Instagram. Why? Social media. But there are a lot of content creators out there that I really want to share with you. I love their content. They give free content because I want to keep in mind that not everybody has the resources that I do, and I want you guys to still get what you want out of this. So I'm giving you information. I'm giving you resources. Every single one of those you can access for free in the ways that we talked about. So let me show you. I don't want to hear that. But I'm trying to see how to spell his names. Chris Orsini. He has got, and I'll have to watch this. Obviously when I'm not with you guys. He has an excellent channel. He on Instagram, and he has a website. And what he does is number one, every month he will say for your sign what you can expect. And that's really fun. And they're long. They're like 15 minutes. And he does that for every sign, and that's free content. So I like to watch those. And then this month he did a pull card for the full moon, but also he does workshops for reasonably priced that you could work through the full moon in a more structured way. People really love it. It's very popular, but I like his free content right now. So hold on, let me see, who else am I watching? I already talked to you about Lady Althea. Oh. Sorry. I'm having a really bad cramp. Oh, baby, no. Please be good. Oh, oh my goodness. Baby's going for murder. Oh, Kiara Stellar. I absolutely love Kiara Stellar. I used to be part of her Patreon, which I do recommend. It's just I kind of like it got to be so much information to review he's pulling, like I'm having round ligament pain. It's bad. It really hurts. But she also does a lot of free content on her Instagram page. So you could definitely check that out to get the vibe. Let's see what she says. Oh, apparently she has a website. She's a blog post and she reopened reading. Nice. Let me see that. And of course, heartburn. What the hell? Why am I so miserable? Oh, God, Jesus, help. Okay, so the website's just got a lot of astrological information, but let me go straight to her content and see what she's posted about this moon. Full moons are not about endings and letting go. Full moons are mainly about harvesting and completion, hence seeing the blossoms of the seeds we planted. It marks the climax of the lunar cycle, not the end. New moons are the ones that mark the end and the beginning of the lunar cycle. To me, also, like the dark moon marks the end. That's a really good time for cleansing. Full moons do illuminate what needs to be let go of and what cycles need to break, but it's released during the waning moon until the new moon when it's actually 100% dark. Imagine drawing a circle. The point where you begin drawing it is also where you finish it. That's the new moon, the start and the end of the lunar cycle. The full moon is the time of illumination when energies are at their peak, a time of harvesting, not discarding. And we kind of talked about that earlier in this live. The full moon, in and of itself, is culmination, is like celebration, it's harvesting, it's oh god, it's reaching the peak of that mountain. But yes, immediately afterwards, everything is down. We're waning. So, like all the things that we're talking about, the goals, the foundation being steady, the self sabotage, all the things that we've covered so far, you start to do some divination, to do some work, to look at where you've come, to see where you're going. Then you identify what needs to be let go. And then you have the whole waning moon, 2 weeks to let it go. My personal favorite being like the night before the new moon, the dark moon. That's a really good time to just detox. This supermoon will occur at 21 degrees Capricorn, an Earth and cardinal sign ruled by Saturn. This lunar event brings to a climax the emotional cycle that began on January 2nd with a new moon in the same sign that was co-present with Venus retrograde and Pluto in Capricorn. This is a time of deconstruction and releasing what no longer resonates on a soul level in order to initiate a metamorphosis. The full moon in Capricorn conjunct Pluto illuminates this transformation and the last challenge to tear down the structures crumbling in our lives. Since full moons are about harvesting, it's also a time of contemplating and celebrating our achievements and reaping the results of the goals and resolutions we set at the beginning of the year. The full moon in Capricorn's trine with Uranus in the North Node will be illuminating new motivations, aspirations, and ambitions that align with our soul purpose in the life we dream to create, as we also release the grip of what no longer serves us. Finally, the luminaries will also be in a sweet alignment with Neptune retrograde in Pisces, adding a somnolent and dreamy element to this lunar event. A time for daydreaming, visualizing, and being a channel for new creative ideas that could turn into a practical plan. Oh, that's all good information. So that was Chiara Stellar. And let me see, who else we already talked about Chris Corsini. And then let me see who else. I already told you guys about Ahimi Aura. She doesn't do full moon stuff, but she does like just change your life stuff. I love her. Let me see. Who else am I usually looking at? Oh, yes. Is another great one. She does a really, really thorough full moon and new moon workup. Okay, here we go. Super full moon in Capricorn. It's in the 21st degree of Capricorn. Why are they saying that? Because that's actually really important because it helps you determine if you're really going to take a deep dive into how it's affecting you personally, which aspects are hitting you in particular. We're not going to go over that. That's really, really detailed and a really deep dive. And even I'm not going to do that for myself right at this moment. On July 13th, the super full moon in Capricorn will bring responsible, rewarding, and empowering energy to the table. Although the moon in Capricorn will be challenged by its opposite sign, Cancer, and with Pluto nearby, this makes for a flight to open up and reveal vulnerable emotions. Capricorn energy finds it very difficult to show any emotion, but when we hold in so many emotions and not communicate what we're feeling, all that brews and bubbles and eventually burst out when we've had enough. This full moon offers us all the opportunity to move past that and begin the slow, evolutionary process of release. While full moons are a time for closure and release, this full moon will validate the premise that when one door closes, another one opens. This energy calls for us to take our future more seriously, to keep us responsible, on task, and accountable to the hard work and be dedicated to meet our goals, to see what is no longer working for us, and be able to deconstruct and rebuild on a sturdier foundation. There is a strong connection between the sun, moon, and lunar nodes of fate that will serve to inspire us to take control of our destiny in the areas of emotional fulfillment, professional goals, ambitions, and success. We can begin to grasp more clearly what must be done to get where we want to be, even if it means we have to work hard. Daddy Saturn, ruler of the Capricorn full moon, is positioned in Aquarius at this time, indicating that any resolutions made now will be ones that last. Think the government, which is Capricorn Saturn, versus the people, Aquarius Uranus. Saturn is also in a trine aspect to Venus, who will help us open up and commit to love with not only someone, but with ourselves. Venus gives us a greater chance of creating more meaningful relationships and stronger values. It'll take dedication, persistence, and commitment, as well as being brave enough to lay our cards on the table with the people that we trust. If you hit a rough patch in your relationship, Venus and Saturn can help us break through without setting the whole thing on fire. We may also feel compelled to push our comfort level when it comes to being vulnerable, giving you and your partner a chance to recommit and move forward feeling more in tune with one another. Keep in mind that committed relationships aren't always easy. In fact, even the healthiest ones still struggle. We have to learn our partner's feelings into consideration as well as lay boundaries, respect each other, and offer gratitude to each other, with both Cancer and which both Cancer and Capricorn struggle with. Venus will also play a part in outlining boundaries for financial responsibility, which will ultimately allow you to manifest your dream home, car, vacation, or any other material goals you may have. However, there will be a serious undertone here as the universe reminds us that reaching such goals is a slow and drawn out process. Saturn rules time. Um, it will take time, patience, and trust that we will receive what is meant for us when it's time. Trust will definitely be an operative word this full moon. Trusting means letting go of control. With the world feeling like we're in the upside down lately, we of course feel compelled to hold on to any bit of security we have. But control is an illusion created to instill fear and limit us from reaching our fullest potential. There's power in letting go of controlling our or being controlled and just allow whatever needs to fall away and be willing to let go of what we may have thought of as safe. Whatever is removed, destroyed, purged, or otherwise let go of will only bring transformation and our soul's empowered evolution. One last aspect of Venus I would like to highlight, even though it hits harshly, is the square between Venus and Neptune. This can bring some drama if you see yourself in an entanglement with someone deceptive. This square with Neptune, which rules Pisces, is ripe for gaslighting, sketchy behavior, delusion, and lies. You could also find yourself enamored with someone who isn't quite as they appear. We can also see this type of energy play out in the world stage. Remember that full moons often shine light on what has been hidden in the dark. This is a time for secrets and lies being exposed, and boy, have we been gaslighted and lied to a lot. Not to mention the sketchy behaviors and plans unfolding. I hope this helps you to navigate through the week's energy, and I wish you an abundant and full, safe moon, or safe full moon. So that was a lot of information. I love that channel. So basically, um, mm, 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 the only resource I have left that I access on my phone is Chani and Labyrinthos. I'm going to come back to those because I like to do those last. The other thing is, if you watch my channel for any period, you know that I go planner crazy, just planner absolutely crazy. And one of my goals to make myself use it more was to get them on my iPad in one place, which I got GoodNotes. So I have a little bit more information. Of all means, if you're saturated, you're saturated. You do you, boo boo. I'm just showing you what I'm doing, and you can take it or leave it, my friend. So I have a couple little sections. So just really briefly, when we're in Capricorn, these are the crystal recommendations for this particular energy. So For Capricorn, we're looking for clarity around goals, willpower, helpful mentor, a sense of rootedness, structure, reconnecting with your lineage, and resilience. So, recommended stones are onyx and galena. So, onyx helps you pursue your goals with determination. Galena assists in detoxification and healing from early life traumas. You can use these. These are Capricorn stones. So, Capricorn season, Capricorn new moon, Capricorn full moon. And then they have a list of affirmations. I am unlimited in all aspects of growth. I trust that slow and steady wins the race. I empower myself to continue the mountain climb. I improve with age and gain more wisdom over time. I work to cultivate my inner sanctum of security. I am diligent in building toward the bigger picture. I like that one. Colloquially, because me and my husband are gamers, we call it grinding it out. There's a period in most games where you got to grind, you got to do something repetitive and boring so you can reach the next challenge. And grinding it out is the secret to leveling up. Um, so that's what I kind of equiv- equivocate that to. I appreciate the beauty and magic in life. I see the bird's eye view beyond the horizon. I trust the process of the magic of life's unfolding. And so this resource, friend, I got for free when I bought. So this is the 2022 Crystal Guide, and I got it when I purchased. Golly, my son plays Minecraft on my iPad. It's sticky, really gross. So the 2022 Crystal Guide, I got it when I bought the Astro Twins 2022 horoscope. They still are selling these for super cheap. So these are all my little books that I got for the year. This was really good. I made my mom and my sisters and my husband do this with me, and they were really good sports. And we did that, the visioning. The Chani ones were great. Next year, I'm just going to buy the one for my rising sign. I didn't need to buy both of them. That was kind of a lot of money. And then I bought this, and it came with this. So this um, really goes over you individually. And then every, um, it talks about movements based on dates. So let's just look here. Beep, 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 beep. This, I should have cleaned it before. Okay, so on this day also we got a Venus Saturn trine. Budding connections could blossom into something seriously serious as supportive Saturn in Aquarius locks eyes with radiant romantic Venus in Gemini. Both planets are parked in buzzy air signs, which fans Cupid's more tempestuous flames. But it's all good since the transit can light a bright fire in our hearts and our heads too. A casual conversation may build into a legendary love affair. A word to the wise, check out mature options, not necessarily in age, but in their ability to adult and be a trusty partner. If an existing relationship has been rocky, Saturn lends supportive scaffolding, and Venus helps us diplomatically discuss conflicts, focus on solutions, and try to remember that you're on the same team. And then they have the information for the full moon. Capricorn full moon, destiny calling. Set your mid-year resolutions today as the full supermoon in Capricorn illuminates the long strategic view for accomplishing a mission. We're at the halfway point of the years, friends. What are we going to be reaping? Bonus, the fate fueling Taurus North Node sits in a supportive angle to the full moon, pushing you to think big picture. Whether or not you've found your life path, today is an important moment to hit pause and assess your progress. What's working and what's left you feeling like Sisyphus rolling a boulder up a hill. While tenacity is Capricorn's strong suit, so is productivity. Maybe there's a better route to the finish line or a better team to support your vision. Also, what goals were in your crosshairs at the dawning of 2022, especially near the January 2nd new supermoon? If you strayed off course, today's full moon motivates you to pick up the ball and run with it again. Did you bring the mission to fruition? Celebrate the victory of reaching your milestone. And in love, Take yourself on a date with destiny as the full supermoon in Capricorn illuminates your romantic goals. Are you waiting for someone else to fulfill all your fantasies? Try a more proactive approach. See what happens if you operate by the law of assumption, which hypothesizes that you can draw something or someone to you by acting as if those circumstances already exist. We call that manifesting. Um, For example, see what happens if you dress up and take yourself out on a fancy dinner. Sit at the bar and say hello to another solar patron. Or maybe you start house hunting in the area you'd like to live with your someday someone. If you're in a relationship, today could bring a perfect moment to dream together about next steps. But first, take time to appreciate the ways you've been there for each other over the last 6 months. An attitude of gratitude is the ultimate aphrodisiac today. So that was the Astro Twins 2022 book. And then the last of all of my things are here in my good notes. Hold on here. Oh, my Spirit de la Lune planner. All right, let's see. So gross, my son. Okay, so this is the blessing moon, and the themes are gratification and relaxation, travel, dream work, igniting passion, leadership, the peak of summer, and community events. Okay, so hold on. And that's it. That's all it says. Weird. Sometimes it's hit or miss with that one. Let's look at the soul care planner. Hold on. All right. Even though Capricorn is the sign of drive and focus, it is essential to remember to celebrate your accomplishments. Capricorn loves to make a plan for a goal and achieve it step by step. This full moon is inviting you to recognize the foundation you are building your dreams on and all the hard work you put in to get where you are. Remember, while hustle and drive are valuable tools that are not what make you worthy, you do. Celebrate yourself. Some key words for today's moon: accomplishment, ambition, confidence, darkness, determination, focus, grounding, hard work, manifestation, masculinity, obstacles, prosperity, responsibility, and willpower. Commit to long term goals. Reflect on your past accomplishments. Be open to new beginnings. Go for a hike and acknowledge how far you've come. So, a lot of different sources are all on the same page here. This is one of my favorites. This is my oh my god, why is it just it's leaving my brain? Why is it leaving my brain? Hold on. I forget. Why am I forgetting? What's this called? It's not Moonology. God bless it. I'm so sorry. I will think of what this resource is called, but I forgot. Hold on, let me see. God bless it. No, hold on. Moonery. Oh God, Moonari. I love this resource. I've loved it. I've used it the last 2 years. Okay, July 13th, full moon in Capricorn. The full moon will highlight structure, responsibility, and manifestation. There will be a culmination related to something we've been working on for a while. It also invites us to keep a practical and realistic approach in order to accomplish our goals. The moon will be aspected by Pluto and Neptune, highlighting the possibility to manifest and monetize creative projects. Mercury is transiting Cancer, opposing the moon, which indicates need to add structure to our plans and ideas so we can solidify and make them happen. Uranus transiting Taurus is making a harmonious aspect to the planets in Cancer and Capricorn, bringing a new perspective. inspiration to find new ways to do things, and solutions. Saturn is the ruler of this moon and will challenge Uranus, a trend that started in 2020, inviting us to change our values, the way we understand abundance and work. The way we work has changed since then, and this aspect wants us to keep questioning what we really need, change the way we've been acting and perceiving the world while keeping a practical and responsible mindset. So, this is harmonious to all earth signs, especially Taurus, especially if you have the moon or the sun in these signs, and it's challenging to Aries, Cancer, and Libra. This also applies if you have the moon or the sun in these signs. Here's some mantras. I am patient and persistent. I take the necessary steps to manifest my goals. I am accountable for what happens in my life. So then it has a little personal forecast. So for me, I'm a Pisces ascendant. The moon will activate your social life. You will be busy attending events, collaborating, and hanging with friends. Saturn, ruler of this moon, wants you to question your social circle so you can improve it and hang out with people that are more aligned with you, help you evolve, and achieve your goals. You could be taking a trip or course with friends. You can also meet new ones while doing so. Write down what the moon highlights. Cool. All right, let me see if there's anything else. And so then I have the witch tracks and the ritual planner, and both of them have full moon spreads where they ask you some prompts and you could do like a reading. And I will do that on my own, along with the Chani app on my own and the Labyrinthos on my own. So basically, that's where we're transitioning into journal prompts and divination, which um, will be, I guess I could share the journal prompts that the planners have. I don't feel comfortable doing it for Chani because it's different for each sign and you would only get Pisces ones. Um, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, let's see. Moon spreads. So for this moon, they're saying it's actually not super. It's not super a lot. There's no prompts on the ritual one. So, and that's fine. All right. All right, but let's look at the ritual one's really good about monthly and weekly in the year ahead. I like that journal. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying for this particular thing that we're doing, it's not super helpful. And so what we do have is the witch tracks. Um, and here's the so they recommend a cleansing. So there again, we're looking at two different ways that people are looking at the full moon: the culmination and then the release. So this one focuses on release every full moon. So the inevitable release that happens when you reach a culmination, you can only go down, right? So once we have the summer solstice, which is the longest day of the year, the days only get shorter until we get to the shorter day of the year. Everything must come down, right? Anyway, let go. So these are 4 prompts you guys can put. What are you afraid of? Who are you angry at? What frustrates you? And who do you need to forgive? And that doesn't necessarily have to be today. Today, you might want to be like, I'm going to celebrate, I'm going to review my accomplishments, I'm going to see where I am with my goals. And then over the next few days or even the next 2 weeks, you're going to be like, okay, but what have I still left to accomplish? What's not working? What do I need to let go of and change? And then make yourself a process to release and recenter and regroup. Then it says things to release 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has a little place where you could do a sigil, and it has a suggested spread. And it's just 3 cards in a row. It says, what can no longer be hidden? What can I let go of? What is ready to emerge? So that's a really simple and direct little reading. And so, of course, I pay for the premium Chani app, and so they have a whole workshop for the new moon that I will listen to. So it'll have a reading, it'll have journal prompts, it has all of these suggestions. It's really nice. So I'll do that on my own, um, and I'll do some journaling on my own, and I'll probably do a quick spread on Labyrinthos. I have managed to clean up my area enough that I can get to my decks. I just I'm just not, you know, it's weird. I'm feeling like doing Labyrinthos today. And what I'll show you is Labyrinthos is an app. It's an excellent app, actually. I love it. Labyrinthos. It's a little app that helps you learn tarot, but also it has things you could program spreads into it, and then it'll generate a spread right on your phone or your iPad or whatever that you can then expound upon or journal upon. The reason is I was traveling a lot. I always have my phone on me, and then I was just trying to find a way to be able to connect more consistently around my busy life, and that really helped me. So whatever it is that whatever you need to, tricks you need to do, compromises you need to do, however you need to give yourself assistance to so you can connect, those are good things. Don't ever let anybody make you feel bad because you haven't picked up your deck in a few months just because you just haven't. It is what it is. You're here with me now. So I didn't write very many notes, but what I think that is a nice time is to review my goals, celebrate my accomplishments, see what's left to do, and see if what I'm currently doing is going to get me there. And if not, let's reevaluate it and let's see what kind of things are self sabotaging me and hindering me from reaching my goals. And maybe some of my goals are shit. Maybe some of my goals are not going to happen. One of my goals was to go to Puerto Rico with my mom and son, and obviously that's not happening this year. And that's okay. Because for every year, for no joke, at least 5 years, and I can go back because I have like a bullet journal for every year, I have put literally on my goal list every year to get pregnant and have a baby. This year, I didn't put it on my goal list and bet. Pregnant and having a baby. So life will just trick you sometimes. At any rate, did you guys like the Get Ready With Me? It's been quite some time since I've done one. I didn't want to promise it and advertise it if I wasn't going to feel well enough. And it was a close thing because my back is killing me. It really, really hurts. And my husband worked really hard today. He had to go to the dump. He had to take the recycling. And, recycle. We go to two different places because there's recycling for like your cardboard and your paper and that stuff, which is in one side of town. And then there's recycling for your bottles and your cans and stuff, which is on the other side of town. And it's very hot. He doesn't do well in heat. So I'm just like, is he, and I had to work. So my son is 7. He doesn't have school to just get his energy out. He doesn't have an activity today to get his energy out. So my husband has been working pretty hard. And now I can hear my son being extra because he just is, right? But he held it together and I'm really grateful. And so I'll probably make dinner. Who am I lying? I cannot stand the smell of meat today. So I'm probably going to encourage my husband to make the dinner that I planned. And maybe help tidy up in the kitchen a bit, maybe cycle the laundry and do those last little bits of the new moon. And I think I'm going to have a bath with some Epsom salts and maybe my some other salts to really just like help. So Epsom salt's really good for your body aches. And so is certain other salts. I have plenty of muscle soothing salts. Maybe I'll do that because my back really hurts. I don't really have any comments from the comment section. So I would love to hear your feedback. I've been coming on every night to try and connect with you guys, and I've had fun. I'm working my way through Bucklands, and I should have the review up next Wednesday. I've got scheduled unboxings basically every day. I mean, as of right now, I think through July, end of July. Friday is going to be another live. That one I am committing to, and I'm trying to get ideas for what you guys want to talk about, what you want to cover. And then, so in the community tab of this page, there's a comment area. There's also one on Facebook. Satrina was lovely enough to leave me a little list. I've just been coming on here and speaking from the heart about what has been inspired in me. Did I get anything inspired from April's boxes today? Let me see what we had. Or no, today was May's boxes. Yeah. The Sacred Space Crate for May. Lord help me. Well, oh, it was a new moon. I love new moons, but it's not a new moon, so it really, and I already knew it wasn't a new moon, so it really didn't, it had a lot of beautiful items. And I thought about, writing petitions and stuff, but not in any deep manner. The Witch's Roots for May was patchouli. I actually got patchouli herb, which I've never gotten before. So that was really, really cool. Really different. I like that a lot. Then the Witch's Moon for May was poop. Let me think. Hold on. Why am I drawing a blank? Hold on. Bear with me. Pregnancy brain. The Witch's Moon for May. What was it? Do I have the oh, I know. Hold on. I have a picture, a thumbnail in here because I've already uploaded it into my YouTube studio. So a picture will definitely jog my memory. Oh, tarot. And they did have beautiful Book of Shadow pages for each of the 4 suits. So that's really nice. The Witch's Bounty was a meteorite, so that was really cool. And then I had a few Kickstarter unboxings, and those were really very provoking. But I had already at that point been like, oh, I think I'll do a good Ready with Me. And so then we're really focused on doing that. So it's my first Get Ready with Me, I think, in over a year, maybe 2 years. It's been quite some time. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love your comments, your feedback. Tomorrow, I'll be going through all of my June boxes, which for some reason I have 6. And I will be slowly uploading that, and you can expect that content, unfortunately, probably sometime in August. And I'll be putting out a poll as to what we'll talk about tomorrow. Or I'm sorry, on Friday when we have our live. And then if I feel well, I'll go live with you guys tomorrow night and discuss what's on my mind. I obviously won't sustain this forever. I can't go live every day forever and ever. Amen. But it's just kind of nice to decompress, because normally you get a box, like if you get 6 boxes a month, you get like one every 5 days or so. I don't normally get 6 boxes a month. I don't know what happened in June. But you get one a week or one every few days, and you think about it for a while before the next one comes. But when you're doing it all at once, it's like, whoa, so many ideas and thoughts and smells, and just, it's a lot. So I really like the decompression. All right, I think I'm going to eat and lay down and bathe and hang out, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I hope this was helpful. As always, like, comment, and subscribe, and I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.